All right, there's the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our Saturday Night's Main Event review series. Gonna be Saturday Night's Main Event 28. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's get into it. And this is going to be the first one without Jesse the Body
Yeah,
Ventura. He is
unfortunately.
officially gone from the WWE. This was September 18th, 1990. It aired a month later, October 13th, 1990, from Toledo, Ohio, and Oktoberfest. This was
Yeah,
that played a big. I really, you know what? I would have rather just the Rick Martel vignettes at this point.
the skit. I
That
don't. Yeah, we talked about this the last
They went
episode.
back to
The
the
skits.
old skits, like the Halloween party they had.
Yeah,
This is what reminded me of it.
I'm not into it. I didn't think it was funny. It just wasn't funny. The
The one skit they
Bushwhackers
did, yeah,
with the
with the
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah.
The one skit with the Heart Foundation and the Orient Express, I would have rather them beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, just
So, but we had Vince McMahon and Roddy Piper doing the commentary on
yeah.
this one. Um, pretty good matches on this card. You know, a couple of feuds ending, a couple starting. This is getting ready for Survivor Series.
Hmm.
I love how they mentioned Rick Rude on the one team, and we know he's not going to be there.
Yeah,
He's not
unfortunately.
out yet. Yeah,
Yeah, soon.
unfortunately, yeah, it's said. Plus, I'll also be talking about what should transpire on the next main event, because the one match that should have been that night was actually set up this night. So let's get into this. Before the opening match, they had the Demolition Promo, Axe Smash and Crush, all three giving their opinions on their upcoming match, followed by the Ultimate Warrior and the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, Legion of Doom they cut their promo, and then you hear the warrior pops up. Let's Craig, let's Craig.
Love his
Uh,
shit, man.
yeah, I meant to say this in the last episode. If you notice, they changed Warriors paint for
Yeah,
this around this time, only for a little while. They put
just
the
a little
symbols,
bit.
the little symbols. They said that they were trying to humanize him a little bit, which was like, I don't want to humanize the warrior. Just leave him as a
But you notice
superhero.
his last promo, he put the full makeup on.
Yeah, yeah. So it was
I
just
like him better with that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a different look, but
Yeah,
I didn't. I want the full.
I exactly. That's the Ultimate Warrior,
Hmm.
and the multicolored straps. I love those.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I can get it out. Our opening matchup is a six-man tag team match that kind of hurts me considering it's one of my favorite tag teams. And I know somebody commented that said the Road Warriors were the best, and I'm not going to disagree with that. I do. They are one of the best all time. I'm not disputing that. This one was the Ultimate Warrior and the Legion of Doom versus all three members of Demolition. And the one thing that bothered me on this match was it didn't go longer. This was almost like a squash match on Demolition, and this was the time that Vince was punishing them for whatever reason. I don't understand.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we know that Axe's health is not that good because of the shellfish allergy. They think his heart might be messed up.
Yeah,
That's what they did in the house shows too. It was just it was Warrior and Legion of Doom just getting the best of them. Like
always.
always, man.
Demolition never got a victory over the Legion of Doom. I don't believe in any of the house shows.
Uh,
And we've discussed this. I believe that this feud should have culminated at WrestleMania 7. The two
they
of
should have
them
kept them apart. They should have teased it, but kept them
build it
apart.
up.
Yeah.
And then if you want to beat the hell out of them
I
at
mean,
WrestleMania, go
but
ahead.
I'll tell you what, as a kid, it was cool seeing this. This is right before Survivor Series. It was cool
Yep.
seeing Warrior with the Legion of
With the
Doom.
Road Warriors, yeah.
All the
This
badasses
is
with the face
awesome.
paint, and then and then Demolition, obviously, with all the face paint. It was cool.
I remember watching this live, and I was happy to see this match. I wasn't happy that
Yeah,
it
so was
ended
I.
in
Yeah.
under 5 minutes. You know, Ultimate Warrior.
Well, Hawk ends up saving Warrior because Warrior's about to get put in the Doomsday device, and
Yeah,
then Hawk comes in and saves him.
and then Warrior
Not the Doomsday
gets
device. What's the Demolition finisher?
they
Forgot the
never.
name.
I don't. They didn't have the Demolisher, I guess.
I think it was called the Demolition Decapitation, but I don't actually remember hearing that like on air.
No,
I
I
remember reading
never.
that, but
Just the diving elbow drop. Because, like I said, once you saw Axe put the opponent in that side suplex almost thing, and you knew Smash was going off the rope, second turnbuckle, and the match was over.
yeah,
Unfortunately, in this one, they didn't get to do it. Warrior, splashes Smash and gets the pin, and Warrior and Legion of Doom get the
yeah.
victory. And they mentioned that they're missing one partner, the Texas Tornado,
Very
and
Von
Mr.
Erich.
Perfect would be on the other team.
Yeah.
So, but it would have been nice for Demolition to at least get the victory here, considering they're going to lose out the rest of the time. And this really, really bothered me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Because again, I was a Demolition fan. I was also a Legion of Doom fan, but I felt like Legion of Doom, anybody that wore face paint, they were going to squash
Yeah,
them.
they got jobbed out towards the end. Yeah, we've talked about that. They got
Oh
jobbed
yeah.
out.
So following and actually during this match, you notice that Dustin Rhodes is
Yeah,
sitting
he was
ringside.
in the audience. Yeah. Hmm.
I love what happens later, and I remember this as if I watched it yesterday for the first time. What happened to him? We'll get into that later. After this match, that they started the whole Oktoberfest with Mean Gene. They had Genius, Orient Express, Fuji, Slick, Akeem before he leaves. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Hart Foundation, and the Bushwhackers all at this thing. Lord Alfred Hayes as well, getting drunk with the dude
Yeah,
in the back. I mean, this was just corny. This was going back to 1985,
it
86.
was. It was. Yeah.
So, in any event, our next matchup was the Macho King Randy Savage and the American Dream Dusty Rhodes.
Hmm.
And what's funny is during this match, the Million Dollar Man, Ted DiBiase, and Virgil come down the ring on separate sides and they
Yeah.
start buying out the front
The front row.
row.
Yeah.
And they try to buy out Dustin.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he rips up the money. And anytime he got up to cheer his father, sit down. Get the, back your ass down there. Because Rhodes is now in the feud with DiBiase. They're
Hmm.
going to go to Survivor
Yeah.
Series against each other. This match here was a closeout with Macho Man, and it was good that how they closed this out, and then starting with DiBiase.
Yeah. At least they had their one on one. Like.
Yeah, because the one at SummerSlam was bogus because the whole thing with Sapphire
Yeah.
and DiBiase, Rhodes was barely in this. That match was like a couple of minutes. We got gypped out of a true one-on-one match at
It was
pay-per-view.
garbage. Dusty came out with the black duster with the red
I like that one.
polka dots. I liked it better than the other one, than the yellow one. The
Yeah,
yellow and black. So
he
he had a
gives
hat.
old
He
son
had a hat.
gives the son the hug and stuff. No Sapphire again at ringside, but he had his son. It would have been cool if Dustin was actually part of the Survivor Series match itself.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Instead of just the one off at the Royal Rumble and then that's it, he's gone. He goes to WCW. During this match, eventually they attack Dustin Rhodes. Dusty goes outside to try to save his son. Savage hits the elbow, double axe handle from the top rope. So Randy Savage gets the win by count out, and Dustin gets a huge beat down, gets hit with the wooden chair, busted open completely.
Busted open too, yeah.
Woo. They tried to hide it, but you couldn't. He really caught it there. And Dustin's down, Dusty's covering his son, and then he's screaming that his son got the beat down. And again, this would have been cool if he would have had him on the Survivor Series team. I think putting him in there instead of Coco would have been good. And the Undertaker could have had his way with him, but it is what it is. But this was the last match for these two guys, and now Savage is on to bigger and better things. Because following this match, now Sean Mooney is interviewing Hogan and Tugboat. As they're getting ready, they wanted Earthquake and Dino Bravo. They had to settle for Rhythm and Blues, but they said that as long as they get through Rhythm and Blues, they can get to Earthquake and Dino Bravo. Their second promo was a little ridiculous with all the sea talk, with the torpedoes and the swabbing of the deck. I mean, this was getting cheesy. So, in any event, and following this, Mean Gene was doing the cheese factory with the Bushwhackers, who was cutting the cheese, and I mean, this slapstick nonsense. But anyway, our next match on the card was Hulk Hogan and Tugboat versus Rhythm and Blues. I don't know. I really would have. I'm actually gonna. I'll get into this, and I mentioned earlier about what main event was going to be bringing us in the next one. I'm going to get to that in a second. This match really should have been Earthquake and Dino Bravo versus Hogan and Tugboat. It really should have. I mean, because you don't even get this in the next main event. I mean, it's pointless not to have this match now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're not going to do it now, you should have done it at main event.
Right,
the following on. So I don't understand it. So, I mean, this match was okay considering this is not what we wanted. What was funny was that during the match, Jimmy Hart leaves the ringside area, eventually comes back with Earthquake and Dino.
Mm-hmm.
They get escorted out by security, but once the match was over, and this ends with Honky hitting Tugboat with the guitar.
Yeah.
Here comes Earthquake and Dino Bravo again, and now here comes the beatdown on Hogan, the Earthquake splash, everything. And Tugboat trying to get in the ring.
Right.
It's amazing. One guy with a guitar takes out four people.
Took him out, yeah.
like
You
the
notice that guitar
NWO.
wasn't breaking though? I don't know if
No,
they
it
grabbed
wasn't.
the
Yeah,
wrong. I don't know if they grabbed the wrong guitar and they should have grabbed the gimmicked one.
yeah. This wasn't pre-cut.
No.
No, it did. It was funny. I was laughing when I saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoops, somebody messed up." But and another thing that didn't make any sense. These four guys should have been the Survivor Series match, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Because if Hogan's going after the Jimmy Hart family, as he
Yeah.
says later on, why not go after all four of them? You're mixing Heenan and Hart, and it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess just scrambling it up or whatever. But I think these four guys should have been facing Hogan's team.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. That would have made
So
more sense. So.
yeah, because I mean, I always used to love Hogan beating down Honky Tonk Man. As much as Hogan gets to me sometimes, him beating up Honky was always good for me. So following that, we get more Oktoberfest fun.
Yeah.
With Mean Gene with the Genius as they're doing the sausage stuffing contest, which made no sense. I swear, I just wish the Hart Foundation would have beat the hell out of Orient Express.
Yeah,
Let's get a fight going there. I mean, in any event, I'm not getting into that too much. Following now that we now have the Intercontinental Championship match. The Texas Tornado defending it against Haku. And I love when Bobby Heenan was down there. He says, "You give me the belt, we'll call it even.
Yeah.
And he won't hurt you." I'm like, God, come on.
Trying
to get the belt back. And we said that Tito Santana really should have been the guy in the match at SummerSlam. This should be Tito right now instead of Texas Tornado. But I mean, I like Texas Tornado when he won the tag belt. The Intercontinental title. I mean, it looked good on him.
I liked him. I liked him too.
The upset was a pretty good storyline.
Mm-hmm.
This was embarrassing for Haku because this was a very short match.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, 3 minutes.
Well, they had a rush. They had to rush through it because they had all those stupid skits, and then they still had promos to come.
Yeah, you still have Hogan. You still got Warrior. You've got Savage coming up. This is going to be a really important one. Mm-hmm. So he wins the match, keeps the Intercontinental Championship, and so he's going to Survivor Series with that. Now, following this match, this is where the sea stuff comes from Hogan and Tugboat with the bombs and swabbing the deck and whatever nonsense as they're talking about going after the entire Jimmy Hart family. Whatever. In any event, moving on. The next match on the card, the main event, was Coco Beware versus Sergeant Slaughter. Why? I know they're building up Slaughter.
That's what it is, yeah. They're building up Slaughter as a heel.
And you and I have said he should never have been in the title picture. He could go face Hogan at WrestleMania.
How does he even get? How does he get the number one? Do you remember? I don't even remember. How does he get declared as the number one?
They just announced it.
They just announced over Macho.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you notice, on this Saturday main event, Warrior accepts the challenge from Savage. Yeah, but at the Royal Rumble tells her no.
That's what I was a little confused about.
Warrior and Savage should have been on the next main event. They should have been on the main event for the title. Now, if anything, Savage wins it here or Savage wins it at the Rumble. And then, like we've said many times before, they main event WrestleMania title versus career. Yeah. Something along those lines. It should have been Warrior and Savage main eventing the next couple of events going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they
not this dude.
They wanted to put the belt back onto Hogan. So,
of course they do. But in order to do that, this idiot has to be the placeholder, and I don't think that's right. He just barely got back. He was, even when he was in WWE for that short period of time, he was never a main event status. In AWA, he wasn't. I mean, I just, and because he's doing the military gimmick with the war going on.
The Iraqi sympathizer, I never liked that. I've said this before. Like, to me, Sergeant Slaughter was G.I. Joe.
Exactly.
I didn't like seeing him as
a heel.
I didn't care for it.
Especially with General Adnan.
Yeah, it was just stupid. But he fights Coco Beware, he beats him up.
That ending was stupid.
Yeah.
The knuckle into the side of the head. I would have expected a camel clutch here. Come on.
That was the Cobra Clutch, right? Wasn't that the Cobra Clutch? I think?
His finisher.
Yeah, I think that was the Cobra Clutch.
But this, I don't know what that was. This was. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
No, please. Yeah. It's Coco. What do you want?
Yeah.
What made this match interesting afterwards was the fans started enjoying, getting up and being alive again because Nikolai Volkov came out.
He's embraced America.
Leave him alone. He was all right with Duggan for that brief time.
I
You
know.
know, both.
It just doesn't feel it doesn't
It
feel
doesn't. I
right.
know it doesn't feel right that all of a
Whole
sudden,
Slaughter is
after
bad.
all these years, Volkov
Sla-
is now a fan
yeah,
favorite.
and Slaughter hates America. I don't know. Doesn't work for me, brother.
It's a multiverse.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
But he's waving the American flag. Then you get Slaughter waving the Iraqi flag. This is another match I would have booked for the main event, flag match between the two.
Yeah.
Just make it in because main event was always scheduled to be solving huge feuds, almost like when they did Tuesday in Texas. It's supposed to take care of those things. And when you look at the next card, none of these make sense because none of them are feuds at this point. I think, like I said, Warrior and Savage should have main evented it. This could have been a match. Hogan and Tugboat versus Bravo and Earthquake. Those all should have been on live on the main event. In any event,
Well, the next main event's not live anyway, so
no, they did it on the 30th of October and aired it the night of the Survivor Series.
yeah.
So following this match now, they have the huge food fight at the Oktoberfest. We're done with them.
Yeah. See ya.
The most important interviews now. Sean Mooney interviewed the Ultimate Warrior about Sherry and Savage. Warrior actually accepted the challenge from the Macho King Randy Savage, which again doesn't make any sense. He accepts it now
And he reneges
at the Rumble. And this coming
What
off of
happens
Sherry
at-
slapping him 3 times on the Brother Love show.
What happens at Survivor Series? I forget. We reviewed this. I can't remember off the top of my head. I remember Macho Man was there and he had the candy stripe outfit, and he comes out at Survivor Series and he does an interview.
Yeah, he announces himself as being the number one contender.
Right. Okay.
But he doesn't wrestle at the event.
I remember that. I know that. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, he just comes out and says, "I'm the number one contender
Right,
for
based
the
on
Ultimate Warrior."
I guess based on this, yeah.
Exactly.
And then
Nothing.
he reneges on it.
Yeah. And then Roddy Piper interviews Savage and Sherry about the whole thing. And I love how Piper said, "Hey, it ain't gonna take 3 slaps. You slap me once, I'm gonna knock you out." And especially after the interview, he slaps her in the butt, and he's having fun
Jesus.
there.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, surprised Savage didn't come back and clock him. But Savage is now reiterating on what Warrior said. Now he is the number one contender, which rightfully so. And we wanted to see this match, and so now it's going to be set up for the future. Only when we do not know.
Yeah,
house shows.
Yeah,
it pretty much was a house show feud until Savage cost him the title.
Mm-hmm.
So, but overall, this Saturday main event was a good build up for Survivor Series. I mean, the matches were already set.
It was fine. It was entertaining. Except for the Oktoberfest garbage. I
didn't like that. I like, they mentioned Rude being on the Survivor Series team. Unfortunately, we know he's not going to be there. Akeem's not going to be there, unfortunately.
So,
this is probably the last time we're going to see Akeem. So, I mean, overall, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was all right. All right, well, you guys let us know what you think. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care.